High Tech Dad, and today I'm really having fun in a very powerful yet luxurious car. This is the 2014 Jaguar XJL Supercharged. So this is a really comfortable, really luxurious car that is a rocket underneath the hood. I mean, it's got a V8 that puts out about 470 horsepower. It's supercharged. It gets 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds, but you're pampered the entire way. So I'm gonna walk through a few of the really cool features in here. Unfortunately, you can't drive it with me. Wish you could, because it's definitely fun, throws you back in the seat, and you get some definite G-force when you get going. I don't know if you can hear the roar of the engine, but it's pretty solid. So let's take a look at some of the features. So while this 2014 Jaguar is all about the luxury, it's also about the performance, as I said. So it's got 20-inch wheels here. You can see it's got summer tires on. It's got the sort of extended sedan look. And so let's take a look at the supercharged engine. So this is the V8 5.0 liter supercharged engine. As I mentioned, it's 470 horsepower, 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds. It really moves. The trunk space is definitely ample. It's got a push button entry, also in the key fob. You can see pretty good size, and thought it was interesting to show what's underneath here. So you do have a spare tire and 2 batteries to power all of the electronics and everything else in the car. So I thought that was kind of interesting. One of the first things that my kids said was how roomy the back was. And we have the passenger seat way back. You can see I've got so much legroom here, even with the driver's seat all the way up. Some nice things here. There are 4 climate controls, so 2 for the back and 2 for the front. All of them are independent. Even has seat warmers and coolers. Those are all controlled as well up at the front. Another thing that my kids really liked, vanity mirrors in the back that are lit. And then lastly, it's got a dual moonroof here. The front one opens. These have window shades that can cover up everything. Makes it really nice. And there is a rear window shade that closes as well via a button right up here. And you can control the window shade of the sunroof as well, assuming that the car is on. There are also side shades that you can manually put up and provide some more privacy and sun blocking as well. So it's got a keyless opener here. You can also use the buttons on the door handles, which is kind of nice to lock things. To unlock, you simply pull on the handle. But another neat thing on the key fob is if you press and hold this, it will unlock it and roll down the windows. So like if you want to cool down the car, it does that automatically. So everything about this Jaguar is all about convenience and luxury, apart from the performance, which I already talked about. For starters, you have a dial here that shifts you out of park, reverse drive, and sport mode. And you can see that the dial is recessed until you turn on the car, which is a push button. So you can see here, turn it on, and it pops right up. It also has automatic parking brake, and as soon as you shift into reverse or into drive, the parking brake comes off. So the speedometer is entirely digital, which is kind of different, but I kind of liked it. It allows other types of options to pop up, like if you're going through navigation, you'll have some directions on the screen as well. I've got my low fuel indicator on, only have about 30 miles left of driving on fumes. And you can see that I averaged, let's see here, about 16.9 miles to the gallon. So for an engine this big, it's actually not too bad. So as I mentioned, they're dual climate controls. You can control everything via the push button here. So you can see I can control everything here. I can also control the rear climate, turn up and down the heat, that sort of thing. I can even control the rear seats, warm them up or cool them down. And the same thing happens with the front seats as well. I can warm them up and cool them down. Even the glove box has some luxury built into it. So it's right here, and the way to open it is just touch this screen. I didn't even touch the button here, but it just pops right open. So there are paddle shifters here. You can use it in sort of the automatic drive mode or in the manual sport mode. To get into the sport mode, you actually have to go into drive, and I went all the way into sport, but normally you have to push down on this to drive into sport mode. But when you're in regular drive mode, you can use the paddle shifters to shift up and shift down, and if you want to get back into automatic mode, you simply hold down on this shifter here and it goes back to driving automatically. So as I mentioned, there's a rear shade that you can turn up and turn down. One thing that has to be mentioned is the visibility out the back is pretty low because this is such a low slung and sleek design. So the nice thing is that there are blind spot indicators. You can see the little dot right up there. It really helps when you're driving down the road to know where things are coming from and if someone's in your blind spot. So the stereo system is pretty amazing. It's a Meridian stereo. You can see you can choose the different types of surround sound that you want to do. DTS 6.1, I believe. It's got no less than 20 speakers throughout the car, so you can just see 2 here. We've got one up there. We've got a few up in the front. We've got a bunch in the back, and it really makes a great sound when it's going. You can connect Bluetooth audio, you can play CDs. Obviously it's got XM radio, it's got regular AM FM as well, so pretty solid that way. It's got automatic lights, so I just leave it on auto, and I even configured it to turn on the high beams automatically when you're on a dark road. Those will come on, and then when it senses oncoming traffic, it'll dim it'll turn off the high beams. It has automatic wipers as well, and while we're talking about wipers, something that I found really interesting about it is when I was cleaning the windshield, I hit the sprayer and I didn't get the usual stream all over the place, and that's because the wiper fluid comes out of the wipers itself, which is kind of a nice thing to have because it's not obscuring your vision at all as you're doing it. So everything about the Jaguar is all about refinement. You can see even down to the analog clock there. At nighttime, it's got really nice ambient lighting where everything's lit up with sort of a high-tech blue look. It's obviously got cruise control. It's got adaptive cruise control, I believe, and a lot of other tech. And one thing that's kind of funny, again, about pampering yourself is it makes things really simple. Like once you program in your home address, you can just click on the button "Take me home" and off you go. So it's kind of a nice feature to have. Lastly, it does have a rear view camera, which is essential for a car like this that doesn't have great visibility. So it's got the guidance lines. As you turn the steering wheel, it'll tell you which direction you're going. It's also got sensors that'll alert you if you're getting too close to the car or object in front or behind you, and lets you know with audible alerts, as well as some other displays on the front. So with an MSRP of $93,600, this is not a car for everyone. And with the gas mileage averaging about 17 miles to the gallon, that's city and highway, if you can afford this car, you can afford the gas for it. As tested, it came in at about $94,000. There's some other options in there that are pretty sweet that you might want to think about Considering one that I wish this had was the back massagers. That would have been pretty nice to have. But anyway, if you want to read more about it, you can head over to my website at www.hightechdad.com. You can ask me questions on Twitter, and I'm at hightechdad. And be sure to give me a thumbs up on my Facebook page, and that's facebook.com/HTD blog.